You guys know I'm Korean, and I was raised under Korean parents. But I know you guys weren't raised under Korean parents. Probably American parents, Indian parents, French parents, Mexican parents. I just want to talk to you guys about my experience growing up under Korean parents, even though my experience doesn't necessarily represent the entire country. And I also want to hear how your raising experience was as a child. First thing I was thinking of is breakfast. You know, in Korea, breakfast is necessary. Well, it's not like all Korean people eat breakfast, but at least Korean moms always try to feed their kids breakfast. I thought this was universal. I thought this was like a mom thing. But when I came to America, I realized some American moms don't make breakfast or don't even care about breakfast. They give Pop-Tarts to their kid and send them to school. But I think most Korean moms make breakfast for their children. Oh, also, before I continue with today's talk, you might have expected today's talk to be like, I was raised under Korean parents and they were putting harsh standards and I had this traumatic experience with my parents and this is how I was mentally blah blah blah. I have loving parents. They don't really force me anything. I literally grew up to become musician slash streamer. So if you're expecting sort of like, if I didn't get A, there was no dinner, like this is not really that kind of talk. This is like a bragging video about like, oh, did you know my mom makes amazing breakfast? Oh, did you know my mom's nice to me? But this is more like a flexing my parents. So ever since I was young, every morning my mom made breakfast for me and my brother. And here's the thing, guys. The breakfast my mom made is not even like bacon and egg. You know what my mom made for breakfast? She made chicken cutlet and miso soup and rice. Literally, you know the Japanese chicken cutlet? And then she packed me lunch, a handmade kimbap. You guys know the rolled Korean seaweed. And sometimes she would bake a croquet. Croquet is like potato mashed with other things and there's cheese inside it and then you fry it in the breadcrumbs. When I was young, I thought this was normal. Oh my god. Only when I become older, I realized my mom is built different. Or Korean moms are built different, I should say. Can I be honest? You know, when you're a kid, if you're so used to your mom making homemade food, you actually crave the snacks more. So what happened was I always ate kimbap that my mom made me. So I was kind of getting bored of it. So whenever I went to school, I basically traded other kids my kimbap for their low quality snacks. So what's really weird is when I came to America, I heard stories like, oh, when I was in America, people are being racist to me because I was Asian. And when I opened up my lunchbox, everyone moved away. I heard those kind of stories, right? When I was in America, I went to a lunch table. I opened up my kimbap. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, is that sushi? Is that sushi? And I'm like, nah, this is kimbap. I'm gonna educate you guys. American children, this is called kimbap. And then they're like, please, Hyo-sang, can I have one, please? And I'm like, well, you gotta offer me something. And they're like, oh, I have this chocolate muffin just for one kimbap. I'll give you this whole chocolate muffin. I'm like, that's good. Okay, bring it here. And then, you know, people don't know how to eat it, so they would bite it instead of having it as a whole. I'm like, oh, stop that behavior. Put that thing in your mouth right now. Put the whole thing in. And they're like, okay, sir. They put the whole thing in their mouth. I'm like, good. Yeah, so my lunch experience was great, as well as the breakfast experience. The crazy part is I don't really have a good digestive system, so it's kind of hard for me to eat a full meal, a breakfast, right when I wake up. I'm pretty sure you guys are the same way. So I always left the breakfast my mom made me. She would give me a lot and I would only eat 2 or 3 bites and say, my stomach doesn't feel great. Meanwhile, my brother eat the whole thing in, and that's why he's like 250 pounds of muscle. He squats 700 pounds. So only if I ate what my mom made me in the breakfast, I would have been able to be super muscular and healthy. But me, being a sick Victorian child, couldn't digest the amazing breakfast, and that's why I'm skinny like this now. Lol, that's why you're so short. Normally, I would crash out and deny, but it's actually 100% true. Actually, while we're talking about breakfast, even before breakfast, does your parents wake you guys up in the morning? My mom always did. I only started waking up by myself after I moved to college. Why is my mom so much better than yours? Thing is it just me, or is it so annoying when someone try to wake you up from your sleep? So I love my mom, right? And I know I have to go to school, but when she kept telling me to wake up, it like annoys me so much. I know I need to wake up, and she's not even saying it meanly. She's not even saying like, get up. She's telling me, Hyo-sang, you have to go for school. But I would just get so mad. I'm such a trash son. Yeah, there's something about waking someone from sleep that makes that person angry. I'm not usually the type of person to get that angry either. So because I know that, I try my best to not wake other people up as well. Well, now that I think about it, I think I had alarm as well, but I never woke up to my alarm and always woke up up until my mom said it's really time to wake up. My dad wakes me up with Stray Kids, and it's very scary because he's playing Red Lights and he did Bite Me by an iPhone. Imagine you wake up, it's like, it's you and me in this world. 내게로 다시 와 time me. The issue is, when you have a favorite song and you set that as your morning alarm, you're gonna hate that song. Does anyone here enjoy the Galaxy ringtone? The Galaxy default alarm, I think it's the one that goes like dang da 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 dang 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 da 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 dang dang. I hate that song. Disgusting music. Because that was my default alarm in order to wake up because I had Android my whole life. Oh my god. Disgusting music. Yeah, don't make your favorite song into your alarm. Initially, long time ago, I think I had Yu-Gi-Oh opening song as my waking up song. I don't even remember that song anymore because I hate it. You know how everyone leaves the house at different times? So as a result, my mom would wake up like an hour before everyone else wakes up, and then she wouldn't eat and she would make breakfast for me and my brother, and then maybe she would cook for my dad because my dad leave house after we went to school, and then she also went to work. So I think then she ate some food and then she went to work. I can't believe this is love and affection. Oh, by the way, I just realized the title is Growing Up Under Korean Parents, but I'm only talking about my mom. Wait, a little bit of a personal story. I have both parents alive, but just a little bit of background. But I was born in Korea, but I moved to America when I was 13. But when we moved, my dad didn't move with us due to work reasons. So my dad had to work in Korea. Meanwhile, my mom and my brother and me, we lived in America. So as a result, you'll probably notice as I continue the conversation, but I didn't have dad in a lot of my daily life because he was in different country. Anyway, so after you finish eating, did you guys ride school bus or did your parents drop you off? Thing is, I had school bus too, right? In America, not in Korea. In Korea, I just walked to school. But then, you know how in order to ride the school bus, you have to wake up way before the school time? As in, if the school actually starts at 8 or 9, then the school bus, you have to be ready by, what, 7? The thing is, near end of my high school, I never got to ride the school bus because I kept waking up so late that my mom had to drop me off every single day. I always woke up, 30 minutes before school began, ate the breakfast, and then got in the car and said like, we have to go! And then I ran to classroom right before the classroom door closes. First period, bell rings. You know why? It's because I actually lived really close to school. Explaining a little bit more, when people live close to their work or close to their school, they actually end up being late more often. I was in the walking distance from school, like about, I would say, 15-20 minutes. So which means driving, we could have got there as soon as 5 minutes. Thing is, my mom never really complained about dropping me or my brother off. Eventually, around my senior year, I just stopped going to school. I just stopped going. My mom would wake me up and then I would tell her, oh, I don't need to go to school today. I'm not feeling it. And she'll be like, okay. And I just didn't go. Oh, because that's when I already got my college results out. So I just need to graduate. I don't need to care about my high school grades anymore. And I'm not like a good student. I want to stay home and play League of Legends. I don't want to go to school. Then what happened was one day I was sleeping in and I told my mom like, don't wake me up. I'm not going to go to school today. And then she said, hold on, you have to pick up. This is a call from school. I pick up the phone like, who is this? You are no longer a student at North Gwinnett High School. And I'm like, who is this? This is assistant principal. And you have been absent so many times that we will take away your valedictorian privilege and you will not be able to give your speech at the graduation. I said, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry, ma'am. And then she said, we'll give you a last chance. Make sure to attend school or you will not be able to give your speech or graduate. I was like, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry. And now you guys might be like, oh my gosh, Hyo-sang, why were you doing this? All of this was planned. As in, I read through the school rulebook and there was a rule where you cannot go unexcused absent for 3 days in a row. So as long as you weren't doing it in a streak, it wasn't alarming the system. So if I was doing it like every other day, then it was fine. And also, there was like a slight policy change a few years ago due to snow days. And that's why these unexcused absence were just letting it slide. And on top of that, I had an upperclassman friend who was also salutatorian and he did the same thing. And he said he also got a call from assistant principal. So I was like, okay, even if I do the school skipping thing, they're probably gonna call me and give me a warning so I could push school as much as possible until they give me a call. Then that's when I need to go back to school. And when they gave me a call was 30 days before graduation, around like April. So I was like, okay, starting from today, I'm gonna go to school. So I went to school every single day for the last 30 days of school. The crazy part is I had replaced 3 of my classes as an online class. So I just had to go to school from 9 to 12. I just had to do first, second, third, fourth period. And then then at lunch period, I just go home, and the rest of the periods I do online class at house. But I didn't even want to go there. I didn't want to go in that school for like 3-4 hours. Things you have to do for Korean parents is before you leave the house or before you go to school, we have to say 다녀오겠습니다. I think my family, we didn't say 다녀오겠습니다. I think we said I love you. Do you guys also have the same phrase that you use? Or do you guys just say goodbye or bye-bye? I don't know if it's just me, but my mom, whenever she says I love you and I say me too, she tells me to not say me too, but directly say I love you. She said it, I don't know, just like me too. You know how it's kind of like a shy way of saying I love you back? Me too. But she said like don't say me too, say I love you. Now I always try to say it. But when you're a teenager, it's kind of embarrassing because when your parents drop you off, there's other kids next to you. So saying like I love you mom and all the other kids look at you is a little bit shy. I mean, I could do it now because I'm grown up, but you know, when you're 16 and the girls be looking at you, I mean, I still said it, but I kind of said it like low key, like oh, I love you. Oh, going back to the breakfast topic, generally does your mom cook in your house or dads cook? I don't know if this is like a Korean thing. I think there's like a general tendency, not all Korean family, but I've seen my dad cook like countable times. You feel me, right? Like very countable times. But you guys know how oftentimes in Asian culture or in more patriarchy conservative culture, the women's, like, you know, such as grandma or mom, they would cook and the men would sit and wait until the food is served. I don't really like that. And I don't think I was raised like that. So whenever my mom cooked and we were preparing for dinner or something like that, my mom used to tell me, you should at least try to set up spoons or water, dishes, so that you're contributing to the dinner making process. Even though my mom was doing all the work, she said it's kind of important to be participating so that you're not just kind of sitting there waiting for your food to be there. I think one of the major things about growing up under Korean parents is really about manners. Manner as in respect. Like how to respect someone who is in the table, how to respect your parents when you talk to them, how to respect your elders. I think that's one of the major things that my parents taught me. Being honest, my mom or my dad, they weren't really too sensitive about having elbows on the table. I mean, this isn't really like a Asian manner. As in, I guess you shouldn't do this, but this isn't like an explicit rule. What kind of table manners did your parents teach? My mom said, stop talking so much while you eat. Because I would yap non-stop. It's not like you can't talk, it's just that I would keep talking and not eating. And she'd tell me, that's why you're so skinny, because you keep talking. No phones at the table or playing with food. Playing with food, I don't think me or my brother ever played with food. As in, my brother was so busy eating the food and I was just not interested in food. I was just too busy yapping. So neither of us ever played with food. You know what's so weird? Whenever we have a family dinner, there's no explicit rule that says no phones at the dinner. But we already have an atmosphere where you would look so weird or rude if you're on your phone the whole time. So that's just our house vibe. So if I pull out my phone and I'm on my phone, they're actually okay with it because unless it's something immediate, I wouldn't do that. So if it's like a family dinner and I pull out my phone and start watching YouTube, they're gonna be like, we're eating dinner. Wait, what's wrong? They would think I'm mad or something. So that's just not the norm in our family. But when we have the small meals, as in, you know, like the breakfast and stuff like that, I always have my phone out. I would listen to music all the time. 하지마, 하지마. I would listen to all those old music. There's a difference between quick breakfast meal versus official dinner. In terms of official dinner, even though my parents never explicitly told us, maybe they did when I was like 5 and I just forgot. But a lot of the bad manners are just not allowed. Or not even like allowed, we just don't do them. You know how Korean parents have a reputation of being strict in comparison to, you know, other countries around the world? But I think I was raised under parents who weren't. Obviously, my parents had a very strict aspect, which, can I sidetrack a little bit? You know what my parents were really strict at? Is when it came to morality. Such as, when I was really young, there was an arcade in front of my house that me and my brother loved to go. It was like a little Naruto game and you could insert coins to play. But we didn't have any money because we're like elementary school kids. But there was a piggy bank in the shelf of the house that my parents collected for change. Me and my brother wanted to play the arcade so bad that we pressed on the piggy bank on the stomach and then squeezed out the coins from the belly one at a time. And we thought, no one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. But then, it's a freaking clear piggy bank. So you could obviously see a piggy losing weight. Like, what kind of piggy bank lose weight? So obviously we're a kid and we didn't think they would notice, but eventually my parents called and we spent maybe like what? $5, $3? That's like nothing, right? But my parents got really, really mad, like extremely mad. And they said, do you know why I'm mad? And I'm like, I don't know. And we're mad because you stole and you lied and you try to act like you didn't steal. I was like, I'm sorry. And like, we're not mad at you because of $3. It's that habit of lying to parents or habit of stealing. It breaks trust. And I'm like, I know. What's crazy is we had this whole incident. And then like a few months later, my brother took out some money that was in a table or something, like $50, and bought BB gun for the whole school district kids. And everybody had a BB gun. My brother's like, we're flexing today. Everyone, get a gun. Obviously not a real gun, you know, like the Nerf guns, BB guns. He just flexed out. I was already like a scaredy cat, so I didn't try to steal after that. And then, obviously my mom caught because it's like $50. It's big money. And he was in, what, 3rd grade? My mom gathered up the plastic guns into the front yard. And she said like, where'd you get them? Like, did you take the money? And interrogated. She brought out a big hammer. Started smashing them in front of my brother. And the pieces of the guns would like fly out all over the house like and obviously I don't know, you know, maybe you guys have siblings. I'm just spectating and I'm having fun. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. And I didn't want to get, you know, too caught up in the atmosphere. So I saw the like breaking and then I went into the room because I didn't want to be too involved. It was so young. I was barely, 3rd grade or something like that. But you know how certain memories are so strong that you can't forget about this. But anyway, going back to the food thing. What kind of food did your parents cook for you guys? Obviously because I'm Korean, we ate a lot of Korean food. So kimchi-jjigae, 볶음밥. Well, fried rice isn't really Korean food, but I don't want to sound racist, but you know how people who have a strong nationality, like immigrants in America, it's not hard to guess what they eat. Like Chinese family, they probably eat Chinese food. Caribbean, like Caribbean food. India, Indian food. What do white people eat? I don't know what white people eat. Bread? Potato? Like Italian people would probably eat Italian meal. But you know, the American white people. By the way, I love white people. But one time, I had a white friend and I went over to their house, right? They're super rich. And you know how you're hungry with your friend and you're trying to figure out something to eat. I'm like, like what you guys got? Like I could even cook, blah, blah, blah. And they had no ingredients in the house. They were a rich house and they had big fridge and storage. But every single food in the fridge and the storage was like a pre-made food. You know, like a mac and cheese or like a frozen pizza. So I was like, where's onion? There's no onion. There's no rice. There's no meat. So I ended up eating ramen. Because they had one of those, you know, the Maruchan ramen? So I ate one of those. Obviously, not all white family is like this. There are some white family where they eat organic salad and organic chicken breast and organic bread, and you guys get the idea. Yeah. So it's so hard for me to figure out what some of you guys eat or what some of your parents cook for you guys. I swear not all of us are like that. I know. It was just that one particular friend. And also, it's not even like a white thing. It's also about if your parents are both working or you have a stay-at-home parents. So even though my mom had job on and off in her life, she was semi-stay-home for a lot of the times. And I think that was the reason why I was able to get so many cares in terms of food and things like that. Because if your parents both have a job, then when you come back home, there's nobody there and no one's there to make you food. If there's no one there to make you food, you could only reach out to pre-made food like frozen food or microwavable food. My mom was initially a kindergarten teacher, but then you know how our family had to move to America, so she was kindergarten teacher in Korean, but then when she came over she couldn't speak English fluently, and if you can't speak English fluently, obviously you can't teach kids. So she, I think, did different jobs. Right now she works in a company, I don't even know what company, tech company. Now she's good at English, now she teach other American people, but I think she had like an on or off time in her career. And meanwhile my dad was programmer, so he was mostly working all my life. I think we kind of have this base mentality, I'm pretty sure it's same for everybody, but we had a base mentality of we should try to inhibit ourselves from eating outside. As in, you feel like eating outside, but outside food isn't healthy, so let's try to eat home. But I have this like special day, or I really crave chicken or something like that, then we would go eat outside. So I think for me, sometime once a month, like few times a month, like the same, right? Even though my mom cooks great, I just want to eat that outside food. You know, the grease and MSG and that unhealthy stuff. I want that, not the healthy, the freaking good oiled fish and broccoli, and like mostly for special occasion, right? This is 100%, I could guarantee this is like a Korean parents thing. My mom used to cut a lot of fruits for us. So I realized after coming to America, these barbaric people eat fruits with skin on. Like, you eat apple with the skin on. Well, obviously, I'm not saying that's weird, but I grew up in a family where my mom used to always peel the skin for us. Well, not even like a health issue. It just tastes better without. But after growing up, and after I started cutting fruits myself, I realized, do you guys ever hear about that phrase? Peeling an orange? As in, if you ask your husband to peel you an orange, the answer describes your marriage. As in, peeling any kind of fruit is very burdening. It's very tiring. So oftentimes, I feel like in order for you to peel a fruit for someone else is out of love and affection. Crazy part is, my mom didn't just peel oranges, she peeled apples and Korean pear. You guys know those Korean pear? They're really hard to peel. I am not that bad with knife, but I still struggle with those because they're so big. But whenever I go home, we always had the lock and locks, and it's filled with fruits. So I just have to unlock the lock and lock and I'll be able to eat it because my mom already peeled them all for me and put it into a lock and lock. But I also think this is kind of like a Korean mom behavior where if you're studying, your mom would knock on the door, tok tok tok, and open the door, and she would have a plate of fruits with the fork and say, oh, like, eat this while you study. I think that's kind of a norm in Korea, in a happy family. Not all family does that, but quite often. Your mom would do that too. Okay, so it wasn't just Korean mom. So as a result, when I first went independent and lived by myself, I realized, guys, fruits were expensive. Am I the only one who didn't know that? Because my mom always would peel them and give it to me. I never knew how expensive fruits were. But once you start paying your own rent and doing your own groceries, yo, grapes, they cost like gold. Not even joking. Sorry for the sidetrack again. When I first came to Boston to live by myself, I went to grocery store and I bought green grapes. I bought one and I went to the counter. Beep, $17. I was like, $17? So I asked the lady who's doing the checkout, is this right? But on the thing it said $5.99 or something like that. And she said, yeah, that's per pound. I was like crashing out. I never knew how expensive it was. I said, can I put this back? So after that incident, I was fruitless for the first few years when I lived by myself. And then I missed my mom peeling fruits for me, like, oh, mom. But anyway, also among the foods my mom made, Korean food, but my mom made literally anything. If I ask her like, oh, I'm craving Chinese food, she would make Chinese food. Oh, I'm craving Japanese food, she would make Japanese food. Pasta, like pasta. Croquet. I think the latest thing that my mom tried was beef bourguignon. Anyone know what this is? As you have this beef and then you put this wine and you cook it for a long time and it's tender and it has that red wine mixed into the meat. Yeah, she was expanding her recipes even after I left to college. How did your parents do when you brought your friends over? As in, did they cook for your friends as well? Or because, did you know there was like a big online controversy where people from Sweden, when you have a friend over, apparently you don't give them food. So they would tell you to go back home because we're having dinner, or they would tell you you could wait in my room while me and my family have dinner. So it was called the Sweden Gate, and everybody in the world was so shocked by it. And apparently it's a norm there. I don't know if there's any Swedish homie who could defend this. That's a no-no, right? It's also common in Germany? These Europeans! These Europeans! Not even Korean. I did robotics, so I had some Indian friend. Whenever I go to my Indian friend's house, or like Middle Eastern, they try to kill me. As in, they try to stuff me with food until I cannot eat anymore. And you know I can't digest well. And sometimes the Indian curries, they're too spicy, but they're like, oh, try with this is roti, and try. Same thing with the Korean family. When my friends come over, because you know I don't usually eat well, but my friends usually do, so they're like, Hyosang doesn't eat well, but it's good to see you eating well. Even within Europe, I think there's different culture where some parents, they give a lot of food to their child's friend and some don't. By the way, I really didn't mean this to be like a white people dissing. I love white people. I'm sorry if this sounds like it. They just get Domino pizza. At the same time, as a child, I kind of want that Domino pizza. You know, in the parents' perspective, it's kind of like just order some pizza. But to the kids, it's like, pizza! So, this is like a little bit sidetracked. Did you guys know, not even Korean moms or dads, Korean grandmas used to stuff their grandchildren so much. So, you know what they do? They feed their grandchildren and they press on the stomach like this. You know what? You know why they do this? They press on the belly to see if there's any more room left. Huh? This is not a joke. This is like what Korean grandmas do. They press and they're like, oh, there is space. Eat more, eat more. This is a real thing. It's a real thing. So oftentimes when people live in their grandparents' house, they come back twice their weight. Not a joke, not a joke. I don't know, maybe it's a Korean thing. It's also like an international thing. The reason why my grandparents didn't do that to me is because I was so sick, I couldn't digest. I would be like, I can't eat, I'm gonna throw up. So they didn't really try that hard on me. Meanwhile, my brother would like non-stop eating to the point where they were like, you can stop eating. Hyosang needs to eat more. Not even like a granddaughter or grandson thing. They even feed the cats and dogs. And another thing, what is like a most iconic Korean food, guys? Kimchi, right? And in Korea, we have a culture of making kimchi at our home. It's called kimjang. And it's done on different scales. Some people only do maybe 2 cabbages at a time. Some people do 10, 20. But our house also used to make our own kimchi. And I remember we did this once a year, every other year. Nowadays, we don't do it anymore. We just buy kimchi. But I think it was kind of like a fun activity that I did with my parents. Do you guys have fridge only for kimchi? We didn't. But I know most people in Korea do. Actually, we had separate... we had separate fridge for kimchi. But then it wasn't a kimchi special fridge. As in Korea, because we eat so much kimchi, there's a fridge that is dedicated towards kimchi. It looks like this usually. But because we live in America, it's kind of hard to get access to some of these Korean furniture. So we just had another regular fridge where we store kimchi and other vegetables and things. Going more on the food aspect, were your parents strict about leaving food or like being picky about food? I think ideally my parents didn't like when we leave food because that's bad manner. But my digestive issue, they usually kind of let me slide. Luckily, neither me or my brother was ever a picky eater. Oh, now that I think about it, wait guys, I forgot about my memories from young days. When I became all grown up, I ate everything fine. But I think when I was little, I used to not really want to eat like a cucumber or spinach. But we had rations. I don't know if that's the right word, but we were given certain amount and we had to finish them. So what I used to do is I would enjoy my meal in the balance I like. And when there was like a chunk of spinach left, I like stuff it in at the last time. You know, because I just don't want to make that experience last too long. I mean, eventually I grew to like it. But you know what the issue is? Spinaches are kind of long. And when I was doing that one time, I got spinach stuck in my throat. Nightmare. I'm trying to swallow it, but then it got stuck in the throat. And I'm like, and we're trying to take the spinach out, or should I swallow it or take it out? And then my dad grabbed me by the waist, turned me upside down, and like shake me so the spinach comes out. Not a joke. Or like hit on the back. Oh, cause of death, spinach. Oh my god. So after that, I still like spinach, but I try to be very careful when I eat spinach. I try to chew it and tear it apart before I swallow it. Here's the thing, you just have to swallow it, but I think when you're young, you get kind of scared, like a panic choke. So it's stuck in like an iffy area. There was another incident with like a small vitamin C candy. This is not even about growing up under Korean parents. But one time we were watching TV show, like a comedy show. And all my family was sitting down, my mom, my dad, my brother. And I was eating this vitamin C candy. And it got stuck in my throat, the candy. But then everyone was laughing while watching the TV. So they didn't notice that I can't breathe. I was like, you know, I can't make sound because it's stuck. And I had to go in front of them like, I'm dying. And then again, my dad grabbed me and then shake me upside down, like hitting me from the back. I think my mom was like hitting my back like this, and then the candy came out. I don't even know. It's just some of the memories that I have. I don't know if the flipping upside down is the right thing to do, but I used to do that. Yeah, we used to do that. Next time, maybe we could have a conversation about. I didn't even get to talk about taking off your shoes when you're inside the house, or how they talked about my academics, or what did they think about when I said I'm gonna become a musician. There's so much, but I mean, literally, this is my life, so I could endlessly talk about this. But alright, we'll close this off today. For anyone who's watching on YouTube, let us know how it was to be growing up under your parents, what kind of food they gave you, what other kind of table manners you had, and then follow us in part 2. Thank you.